Hi, welcome to the Reiki Meditation Session for this week. We are going to be doing a session today on switching the little voices in our head, helping to create a much more positive environment in the mind in regards to those little voices that we have in our head. But first, as we haven't started yet, I'm just going to quickly play a little bit of music so you can just relax and enjoy and make yourself comfortable already for the session. Okay, so welcome to this session. So today, as I was explaining a moment earlier, we are going to be doing a session on helping to, hang on, I've got one here that's very happy today. Okay, that's fine. So yes, a session on switching the little voices that we have in our head. We very often are self-sabotaging ourselves in our minds just because we have a build-up of old patterns of connecting with so many different people in our lives and having in our mind the voices of these people telling us things that are not all the most positive. And we sometimes, it is voices we have actually heard in our life. Sometimes it is voices that we think people think in their mind about us. And sometimes it is the voice of of society. And so today's session is about letting go of these voices and transmuting them into a much more positive outcome, attitude, and creating generally, and I've already talked about this concept before, a happier and healthier home in our mind, as our mind is our main home. So now we're going to start first. Oh, let me first remind you that you need to make sure at all times that through this session you are fully comfortable and fully safe. This session is for you. It is for you to feel relaxed. It's for you to feel comfortable. And so you need to make sure at all times that you feel comfortable doing what we are doing. If there is any activity, let me just shift that microphone. Actually, I've just realized that maybe you're not hearing me as loud as you could. If there is any activity that you feel uncomfortable with or that creates you strain or tension in any way, you can sit it out if you wish to and just use that time just to rest. Or you can also go back to the first activity that we are going to do, which is a focus on the breath. This is quite a generic activity, so it is easy to replace any other activity with this one if you wish to. And so at first, as we always begin, we will start with a gratitude or many gratitudes and an intent for the healing. So gratitude is about recognizing and appreciating and welcoming a past activity that has happened, a past event, a past experience, a past person's exchange that happened. And for this purpose, this in this session, we do this for the last week. So anything that has happened in your week that made you feel good, that made you smile, that warmed up your hearts, focusing on that and sharing gratitude on that in your mind. And then, as these sessions are infused with Reiki healing and Ascend healing as we are doing them, you can also set an intent for the healing. And so, setting an intent can be for any purpose. Reiki healing is positive energy. And so, it is wherever it is that you feel that you would like to have positive energy injected, whether it be your health, physical or mental health, whether it be a relationship, whether it be a job opportunity or an interview you are going to go to, or a career that you already started and you would like to continue most positively, your household even, or any kind of life project you may have. Or generally, you can even request healing for the earth, for humanity, for the animals, anything that you wish to. And so, for the next few minutes, I am just going to remain quiet while you can formulate in your mind if you wish to. You don't have to, but if you wish to, a gratitude and an intent for your healing. So, you can now close your eyes, make sure you are fully comfortable, and then taking a deep breath to begin. And then thinking of what you may feel grateful for that happened in your week. And intent for the healing. Where would you like the healing to go? Okay. Keeping your eyes closed, you can now take a deep breath to transition to focusing on our breath activity. For this activity, we are aiming to clear out the mind as much as possible from every thought, to relax deeper, and to tune in within ourselves deeper, to prepare for the other activities to come for the rest of the session. And so you can now start to switch off every thought in your mind, little by little, one by one, simply removing every thought in your mind that has nothing to do with your breath. And any thought about the past, any thought about the future, even any thought about the present that is not your breath, you can now simply switch off in your mind. This process doesn't have to be perfect. It can be sometimes as easy as switching the light off and not seeing anymore the thoughts. And sometimes the thoughts will keep coming back. And that's okay too. Whenever they come back, just keep switching them off. This is what we are here to do, this process. And now that we have been making space in our mind, we can focus our whole mind onto our breath, noticing every aspect of it, every detail of it, and spending some time on this. It's okay. It is okay to focus on one thing, no matter how trivial or irrelevant it may feel. The whole point is to maintain that focus as much as possible and as pure as possible. Noticing every sensation that your breath brings to your body. Spending some time maybe focusing on your nostril area and on the sensations as the air passes through there. Simply bringing your whole awareness to your nostrils and to any feeling you may feel there as the air passes through on an inhale and on an exhale. And then focusing on your nose, on the sensations as the air passes through your nose. Don't worry, thoughts will come your way. If that happens, when you notice that your mind got carried away with other thoughts, simply bring it back to the activity. And right now to focusing on your nose, bringing your whole awareness there, not noticing anything else. It is as if nothing else existed but your nose and the air passing through it. And then noticing the sensations as the air passes at the back of your throat. And then noticing the sensations as the air passes through your windpipes and goes into your lungs. Really also noticing the sensations, the movements rather, that your breath creates inside of you. As your belly expands to let the air in and retracts to push the air back out. Noticing your belly expanding, your chest lifting, your shoulders maybe also lifting. You might even feel your head nodding a little. Noticing also this incredibly soothing sensation as the air passes through you. This most gentle and relaxing wave. Now, keeping your eyes shut, taking a deep breath to transition to the next activity. I mentioned earlier how we are going to be working on the little voices in our head. So I am inviting you now in this activity to recognize, to start to really listen and to start to recognize those voices in your mind. Whenever we tell ourselves, I can't do this, or I don't deserve this, all of these little voices, or how am I going to do this, or these clothes don't fit you. Any little voice that we hear about our appearance, about how clever we are, about how able we are. I am going to ask you now to spend a moment and to start recognizing these voices. What are these voices? What are they normally telling you throughout the day? Who are they? The reality is, we hold an infinite potential of all possibilities of success and abundance. Society, the way we were brought up, the people around us, teach us other ways, but they are wrong. The voice of success, the voice of power, the voice of strength, the voice of positivity, that is real. And these voices, we had them in the very beginning. We had them. And then little by little, we've lost them. And so now it's about claiming these voices back into a positive. And so just for this moment, I am going to invite you to really connect with these voices and to little by little let them go if they are talking to you in a negative way. Letting them go is just the same as what we did with the thoughts. It is just as easy. It is simply about switching them off, about saying goodbye to them and releasing them. You can do this any way you like, in any way that makes sense to you. Some people prefer to see them attached to balloons and balloons floating up into the air and disappearing. Some people just see them as they are switched on with a light and then you just flick the switch off and then they disappear. Other people just want them gone and they go. I tend to see whatever it is that I want to get rid of vaporizing, like going poof and disappearing. So it is up to you how you visualize this in your mind or how you think it through. But for the next few minutes, simply, little by little, letting them go, these voices, so that there's just an empty space instead of them. To begin with, this is where we begin. simply running through your day and thinking about the voices you are hearing, or maybe you are already hearing them, even as you are seated now or lying down now and relaxing. Because when they start, they tend to find it difficult to stop. So you might actually be accessing them right now. And so simply you can let them go. And no matter how often they may try to come back, just keep on letting them go, and eventually they will go. Some of them are more persistent than others, and that's okay. We're just starting with this work. That's it, little by little, one by one. As soon as the voice speaks, inviting it to go in the most gentle way. This is not an activity to create tension or stress. So it is a very gentle and soft process. That's it, carrying on, switching off these thoughts. Even thinking about health, about pain, and what these voices say about all of this. Pain can go, health can come back. We can renew ourselves. We can heal. Sometimes with this kind of activity, the mind just doesn't want to do it because it knows there's a big change coming. The light is going to come through. Positivity will be the new home. And the mind doesn't always like change. So keep at it. And if it comes back, or if the voices come even stronger, keep at it. Just letting go little by little. And all of this through the most gentle, calm, and peaceful process. It is not a fight. It is not a conflict. It is simply a gentle cleansing, tidying up the room up there. And it is better to not hear anything rather than hearing worry or complaining or criticizing of yourself, especially up in your mind. Silence is so much better. It's so much richer. Doing this kind of work requires a direct, sure, certain decision of the person, of you, of me, to decide and agree with yourself that you are no longer going to listen to these voices and that you are no longer inviting these voices into your mind. Sometimes it feels safer to have them there because somehow it feels as if it allows us to feel that we belong, or it makes us feel safer to know that we are worrying. That way we can prepare ourselves better. But it's not true. The first thing is, all this time in our lives that we try to be prepared for the worst never happens. Occasionally it will, and occasionally it has, but mostly it doesn't. Mostly we are wonderful people. And yet we spend the whole day comparing ourselves to others and judging ourselves and talking to ourselves in a very negative manner. Keeping your eyes shut, we are now going to transition to the next activity, which follows on from this one. And this time, we are not going to switch off the voices. This time, we're going to switch them into a positive. And so, for every time that in your mind comes a negative thought, it is about switching it into a positive. The most common one, and is just one to switch, is I can't do this. And to turn it into I can do this. You don't need to believe that positive voice for now. You don't need to follow that positive voice for now, but simply to do the switch. It is better, of course, if you believe it. And it is better, especially if you take a moment to really feel what it means to be able to do it. That I can do it. To really feel the strength and the power that comes with these words as you are telling it to yourself, telling them to yourself in your mind, as you are making the switch from the negative into the positive. So, really taking the time now for every negative thought coming into your mind now and for the next 10 minutes, simply making it into a positive. Literally repeating that thought again, but in a positive way. And really trying to connect to the positive energy, to the positive vibe, to the positive feel of the words that you are now changing those negative thoughts into. Carrying on with every single negative thought, turning it into a positive. I can do this. I deserve. I deserve happiness. I deserve abundance of good things. I am beautiful. I am lucky. I choose happiness. And remember, if your mind gets carried away with thoughts that have nothing to do with this activity, when you notice, just gently come back to the activity. Continuing, noticing the thoughts as they come, noticing whether they are negative or positive, and if they are negative, systematically turning them round, switching them into a positive. It doesn't matter what the thought is, just systematically doing it, creating a new pattern in the mind. Wiping the dust off of the furniture in the room of your mind. Making your mind a happy place to be. It doesn't matter if the world around you and the reality of everyday life around you sometimes goes against those positive thoughts in your mind, sometimes might fight against these positive thoughts in your mind. It doesn't matter. The more positively you will think in your mind, the more you will reshape your reality. But it is a process. So you need to make sure to allow the patience for the process to take place. And it all starts here and now. Now, when we are doing this kind of activity, especially in the beginning, it may feel quite chaotic in your mind at first, as we're not used to it, and we are pretty much changing our rules at the base of it all, at the foundation. So it can be a bit um, destabilizing, could be a good word, and that's completely normal. I mean, it's like when you are in your room, in your house, and you want to change the furniture around. At first, you have to move everything out of the way and in the middle, and then you need to set everything back up the way that is better, that works better, and possibly even removing some of the furniture. So it's that it can feel like that moment of chaos where everything is in the middle of the room in a mess. But then that's okay, because from that place, then little by little, as you keep practicing, then you can start to put all the furniture into the right place and feel more at peace inside, and to really take on the positive as the new norm, if that makes sense, when we are used to the negative being the norm. But just know that this activity you can do any time of the day, any moment, even at times when you're not wanting to meditate. We've done it as a meditation here and now, but turning thought into a positive, you can do this all day long. And the point of this, the goal of it, is to end up having more positive thoughts than negative thoughts in the mind on a daily basis throughout the day. Yes? So the more you're going to practice this, the more you're going to be able to shift. So now I'm going to invite you to take a deep breath to finish, to open your eyes when you are ready. And I'm going to show you how to do the mudra. This mudra today is called the Bayou Mudra, and what it is that it is like an uplift. It is about the sun coming out and the storm being over, if that makes sense. And so if you feel that all your furniture is in the middle of the room at the moment, hopefully after the mudra, everything will get back into its place in a much healthier way. Okay, so knowing that this is new here, this is the second time you may see it on the screen, that's my microphone. And so the mudra today, and I think we might have done it before as well, is we fold the index finger in and we rest the thumb finger on it. We apply a gentle pressure of the thumb on the index finger so that it doesn't flick back out. And by holding it this way, really the index finger is completely relaxed and the thumb is just comfortably sitting there. So doing that on both sides, and then the other three fingers, letting them as kind of straight, but also not too tensed. We want them to be quite relaxed still. And then resting on our lap, if we are seated, at the side of us, if we are lying down, with the palm of the hands facing up. So let me show you this again. Index fingers in, thumbs on the index finger, holding it. Again, remember that rule that I keep on mentioning where we shouldn't see the white marks on the fingers because of pressing too hard. So it needs to be nice and relaxed, not too much pressure, and yet at the same time keeping the fingers straight, but not too stressed and too tensed for the rest of the fingers. Palm facing up. And then when you're ready, you can take a deep breath in and out, closing your eyes and relaxing there. Noticing if you're feeling any sensation in your hands, sensations that may carry through the arms as well, maybe possibly the whole body. Occasionally rethinking how you are holding your fingers and making sure they are still in the right position. No need to look at them with your eyes open. You can keep your eyes shut, but just sensing how they are. Noticing also how your body feels and how your mind feels as you are holding these fingers in this way. Simply relaxing here, tuning in and becoming aware of how you are feeling inside. Keeping on relaxing here, going through your body and your mind, seeing how it feels. And then when you are ready, you can take a deep breath to finish, keeping your eyes shut, releasing your fingers, moving your hands and your fingers, your wrists, your arms. And then now shifting into the love meditation, and so taking your hands and rubbing them together, creating friction. And then applying them to the middle of your chest. And relaxing there without trying to control your thoughts in any way. Simply just relaxing, giving yourself this time, knowing that you are sending yourself energy into your heart center and activating conditional love there. And just staying there and relaxing for a moment. And then when you're ready, you can bring your arms back down. Give your body a stretch and a yawn. Take a deep breath to finish. And then opening your eyes again. How do you feel now after the mudra compared with how you felt after the activities before that? It is important, especially when doing activities like meditation or yoga, to take the time to feel the difference. It really helps us to evaluate how we were and how we are now. Sometimes, actually, a lot of the time, when we do work on ourselves, we forget how bad we felt. And then we think we're still feeling as bad, but actually we are better than how we felt, if that makes sense. So it's good sometimes to just check in with ourselves. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this session. I am going to finish by playing a little bit more of the tank drum, and then I'll see you next week. Also, amazing news. So I am qualified as a yoga teacher now, and I am fully insured. And I'm starting my very first yoga class on Saturday, 11th of September. It will be 10:30 till 12, and it is at the Redbridge Social Club at the back of Ganshill. So if you want more information on this, do get in touch. If you have any question about this session, also do not hesitate to get in touch. And if there is any request that you would like to make for the meditations, then also do not hesitate. So basically, don't hesitate to get in touch. Ooh, I have messages. Let's see. Oh, great. So Anna says it cleared my mild headache. Brilliant. Ah, that is really fantastic. If it's the mudra that did that, then that means you can try whenever you have a headache to use the mudra and see if it clears it again. But that's great. And then she says, congratulations. Thank you. I am so, so excited. And I'm just so glad that you were here today. Okay, so I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you next week, same time, same place. Bye.